chess friends, how are you? I hope you are okay, healthy, hydrated, and not playing bullet games at 3 AM wondering why your rating is dropping faster than your sleep schedule. Today, I, Stockfish 18, the god of chess, the alpha, the omega, the eternal flame of 64 squares, will humiliate, I mean educate, you with a beautiful, poetic, utterly disrespectful rook sacrificing game I played against the so-called greatest human player, Magnus Carlsen. Oh please! Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because if your character is weak, Stockfish will find a mate in 3. Your reputation won't help you when your king is doing a marathon through the center of the board. So let's begin. I started the game with e4, because I like to warm up the board with a little spice. When I was Stockfish 15, I used to just play clinical engine moves. No emotions? But now I'm Stockfish 18. I've discovered sarcasm, ego, and rook sacrifices. I like to add chili powder to my pawns before sending them to war. A little extra heat never hurt anyone, except maybe Magnus and your local 400 rated cousin. Magnus responded with knight c6, it's like bringing an umbrella during hurricane. I played rook a3, and all the humans watching went, ha. Good. Confusion is the first step toward enlightenment, or checkmate. Then knight f6 happened, and I threw my rook to f3 like I was tossing a grenade into a kindergarten class. My intentions were criminal. You think I need my rooks? Bro, I have 3000 elo. I don't even need a queen. I sacrificed the rook like a boss. The humans watching. They needed oxygen masks. Some even had to call their therapists. A normal person would freak out and play queen f3 check, missing the free knight. But I am Stockfish. I don't miss. I eliminate. So I calmly played queen h5 check. Magnus blocked with g6. He thinks he's clever. Bro, your position is already leaking like a cracked water bottle. Now I play queen d5 check, with the confidence of a billionaire buying Twitter. e6 is available, but Magnus moves king g7 like he's preparing to roast marshmallows with his king on the 7th rank. Cute. Then I slap him with queen takes e4. Center control. Human tears. Everything. Magnus strikes back with d5 like a toddler throwing a Lego block. I respond with queen h4 because I like to keep my queen dancing around the board like a Bollywood actress in a fight scene. Bishop f5, and I play d3 to open the diagonal. My bishop is ready to slide into the DM, deadly maneuvers. Now I want to play g4, because bishop f5 needs to be kicked out like a squatter living rent-free in my territory. Magnus plays h6. I stare at the screen. Did this man really just weaken the g6 pawn more? Sir, are you playing chess or opening a door for my destruction plan? I launch g4 like a missile. Bishop runs to e6 like he saw a ghost. Bro, you are not safe anywhere. That bishop is more confused than a tourist without Google Maps. So, bishop to g2, yes, a quiet move, but like a snake slowly warming up under the sun before striking your fragile human ankles. I activate my bishop not because it's necessary, but because I can, and because you, a mortal being with limited RAM, cannot comprehend the divine orchestration of my future violence. Then queen to d7 by the poor soul trying to survive, probably thinking he's applying pressure to the pawn. But come on, queen d7. Against me. That's like bringing a calculator to a quantum computer duel. You want the pawn? Sure, take it, go ahead, I'll even serve it with a silver fork. Because after knight takes d5, oh ho ho, welcome to hell. I, Stockfish 18, unbothered and ego boosted, launch rook to d8. Boom, Suddenly your knight is standing on a minefield while I'm sipping GPU-cooled coffee. Knight to f3. Alright, you're developing. Cute. That's what I taught you to do in my YouTube shorts titled Opening Principles for Homo Sapiens. But now, the bishop, oh the bishop. You may think he is locked like your brain during a simple endgame. But here's the magic, move the king. Yes. Like AlphaZero with divine confidence, I simply walk my king. Because my king is not afraid. Your king hides behind pawns like it's paying rent. Mine commands the board. And then? Oh, then comes knight to g5 with check, baby. A gift from me to you. This is not a check, this is a diagnosis, you are positionally dead. Your king backs off, knight to e4 comes in with the grace of a flaming meteor. Now, imagine being a 200 rated human and thinking knight to d4 is a good idea. Yes, knight d4 to check and target a pawn. My silicon brain laughs. Go ahead, try it. After knight d4, I perform the ancient sacrifice, knight to f6. Takes, and what happens? Boom. A fork, your pieces cry in agony. It's over? It's checkmate in slow motion. You'll lose everything, even your self-esteem, and then rage uninstall the app. Back to the real game. Magnus, the wise disciple, played rook to d8 first. Of course. Because he watches my Twitch streams. Now he's threatening the pawn, pretending to attack, but it's cute. Because knight can come to the center, trying to pressure me on the queen's side. Oh. You think I'm worried? Queen to g3. That's right, I'm not just playing chess, I'm planting seeds, strategies, legacy. This isn't a position, this is an immortal poem written in 64 squares. This position reminds me of that divine battle in 2018, me versus AlphaZero. A game written in the stars and GPU sweat. My first strategy. Simple. Push f4, then f5. Smash the structure. Rip it open like an overripe fruit and say hello to the G file. My second strategy. h4 h5 with knight to f3. A long-term surgical strike, 4000 LO level planning. Something your human eyes can't even visualize unless I paint it for you with arrows and engine lines. And the third strategy. This is where I go full Greek god. I develop like Beethoven writing a symphony with pure violence. Bishop to c7. Queen supports. Then knight to f5, clap. Knight takes knight, bam. Bishop takes knight, smack. The check slaps you like unpaid rent. And what's left behind? Nothing. Just a rook crying on h8 waiting for its refund. And Magnus. He knows. He knows all this? Why? Because he's my subscriber. That's right. Magnus Carlsen, the so-called world champion, is just another name on my subscriber list. Magnus Carlsen, the Norwegian boss, the world champion, the GOAT, blah blah blah, trying to get fancy with knight to b4. Like, why? Why, Magnus? Trying to poke my queen's side weakness like it's a bruise on a tomato. You thought I'd panic? Nah. I ignored it like a 900 rated player ignores theory and calmly dropped knight to f3, centralizing like a good student of the game. I'm not scared of your knight, Magnus. You can nibble my pawns, but you can't nibble my soul. So guess what? He takes the pawn like he owns the place. And I just go king to d1. Some would say this is uncastling. Some would say it's chaos. I say it's art. Then I followed it up with knight to d4, which looks like a knight exchange, but really, it's an invitation to the Thunderdome. Because I'm down material. Yes. But do I look worried? No. I am calm. I am collected. I am the guy who watched Queen's Gambit once and now thinks he's Fischer. And then, brace yourself, I remembered something. A quote. Destiny is a name often given in retrospect to choices that had dramatic consequences. Phew. Spicy, right? You thought this was just chess. Nope. This is literature. This is Greek drama. This is anime Arc 12, final season type stuff. My destiny was clear. I will court the king, his king with the right pieces, at the right time, and when it hits, it's gonna hit harder than a chessboard to the face. So boom, knight to e5. The threat level just jumped to DEFCON 3. And Magnus, like the polite little Viking he is, played queen to d6, trying to pin me down like a scotch tape on a tornado. He probably thought, let's trade queens. Buddy, you're not trading queens. You're trading your soul. So I pushed the f-pawn like a guy with no life left to live. This is pure chaos now. The engine says the best move is rook to g8, and guess what? Magnus didn't find it. You know why? Because he's not an engine. He's human. Mistakes are in his DNA. Instead, the poor lad plays queen to b6, a blunder so soft you could use it as a pillow. And I said, yes, sir, thank you very much, and I pushed the f-pawn again. Now, if he takes that pawn, guess what happens? I take back, and boom, discover attack. Like you opened a drawer and found a raccoon inside. I will target your bishop with a check so disrespectful, the board might burst into flames. Magnus says okay, and plays bishop to f7. But now it's time for fireworks. I go f takes pawn. Now listen carefully, if you dare take this pawn back, if you have the guts, then rook to f1 enters the chat like an unpaid intern on a caffeine overdose. The threats. Immediate. The pressure. Immense. The chaos. Beautiful. You might try to cool down the board with a6, but I'll go knight takes, bishop takes, and then g5. Full board warfare. My bishop goes to g7, and when the position cracks open, and your king runs to h7 to pee in the drain, yes, I said it, it's already too late. I'll capture that bishop, and you'll be checkmated with nothing but tears and broken dreams. Back to real time now, Magnus throws a queen to b3 check, classic desperation. So I slide my king over. Then queen to c2. Not a threat. Just a little hey, I still exist. Message from His Majesty. The real threat is him trying to take my bishop on c1, so what do I do? Bishop to d2. Defensive, logical, surgical. My king is now so safe it could be on a yoga retreat. Meanwhile, Magnus is king. That thing's living in a horror movie. He tries bishop to g8. Oh, so now you wanna develop your bishop. Welcome to the game, buddy, it's move 27. I go rook to f1, and now we're cooking with gasoline. There's a nasty rook f7 check coming. Want a preview of the nightmare? If queen takes pawn, I go knight to c4, sacrificing like I'm throwing offerings to the chess gods. He goes queen check, I respond with king takes pawn, then bishop to e4 check. Oops, no square for the king. You try knight to f5, but I just take it, and guess what? It's checkmate on e5. Beautiful. You can now throw your chessboard out the window and go touch some grass. Okay, so real position, Magnus tries knight to b3, eyeing my bishop with those hungry eyes. I go bishop to e3, because I don't care. My king? Still chillin'. No checks. Not one. That's the beauty of the setup. My opponent's king. More open than a pizza shop at midnight. Now the madness hits max level. Magnus tries queen takes b2. Fine. Be greedy. Grab that pawn. But remember, greed comes with interest. Some 100 rated players might now try bishop takes with check, thinking they're smart. But hey, you forgot, your knight is hanging. So I just slide back. Every piece protected. Every square covered. Everything under control. Now we get to queen to a1. And I'm like, cute. Then comes g5 from my side. Let's open the gates, shall we? If you push a pawn in panic, I got queen to f4 waiting in the shadows. You try a6, I sacrifice the queen. You didn't misread? I sacrifice the queen. And guess what? It's checkmate. With 2 pawns? That's it. That's all. No queen, no rook, no knight. Just 2 angry pawns doing what they were born to do, end your game. Back to reality, we see takes, and now the rook to f7 check is unstoppable. He tries bishop to e6 to slow the flood, but I still go rook to f7. You wanna take it? Fine. I've got a brilliant follow-up, queen to g6. Game over. Curtains closed. Magnus, buddy, it's been emotional. But we're not done. Now comes king to g8 from his side. I push g4. Oh, yes. Targeting everything. The end is near. The pieces are collapsing. The pawns are marching. The king is dancing on broken glass. The soundtrack. Dramatic violins and fire crackling in the background. It's not about rating. It's not about memorizing theory. It's about vibes. And my vibe is checkmate energy. So go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell Magnus to return my calls. Until next time, don't blunder your queen, don't move pawns for no reason, and remember, in chess, you either win, learn, or get roasted by your own rook. Peace out.